Some leaders lead with power, some with knowledge, but charismatic leaders lead with their personality. Welcome to our discussion about charismatic leadership. To start our discussion, let's begin with the first question. What do you know about charismatic leadership?
Charismatic leadership is where a leader inspires and influences others, mainly through their personal charm, persuasive communication, and a strong vision that makes people want to follow them, not only because their position, but because they genuinely believe in their goal.
Charismatic leadership is a style of leadership where a leader inspires, motivates, and influences others through their personality, their good communication skill, and their strong vision. It builds emotional connection, loyalty, and brings people together towards the same goals. It relies more on personal appeal than their formal power, and it can be used for both good and bad purposes.
Charismatic leadership is a leadership style that relies on personal charm, strong communication, and emotional appeal to influence and inspire others.
Charismatic leadership is a style where a leader inspires and motivates others through their personality, confidence, and strong communication. It makes people trust them and willingly follow their vision.
For me, charismatic leadership is about presence, the ability to inspire and uplift people simply by being there. So, charismatic leadership is not just about authority, but also about influence and connection. Now, let's move to the next question. Is there a leader figure you admire because of their charisma? And why?
I would pick Barack Obama. He has this calm, steady way of speaking that makes complicated issues feel understandable and hopeful. Even if you don't agree with every policy, it is hard not to be pulled in a way he connects with the crowd.
One leader I deeply admire for his charisma is Mr. Baharudin Yusuf Habibie, the third president of Indonesia. It was not about flashy speeches, but about his deep knowledge, his calm confidence, and his true dedication to Indonesia's progress. His strong background in science and technology made his speech more meaningful and full of substance. That's why he is earning respect and trust from many people.
Yes, I admire Bung Tomo because his charisma was evident in his speeches that ignited the spirit of the people of Surabaya to fight against the colonizers. His energy and conviction encouraged people to unite and sacrifice for independence.
For example, like Sukarno. His charisma united the Indonesian people and gave them the spirit to fight for independence. His powerful speeches really touched and moved the nation.
I admire Nelson Mandela. His charisma came from his resilience and forgiveness, inspiring hope and unity in South Africa. Those are truly inspiring leaders. But leadership is also tested in difficult times. So, what do you think? If a crisis occurs, is charisma still necessary for a leader?
Yes, but with balance. In a crisis, people need a leader who can steady nerves and rally everyone. However, charisma alone isn't enough to decisive. Action, clear plans, and competence are equally critical. A leader who is only charismatic but lacks substance might inspire briefly, but fail to solve the actual problem.
In my opinion, charisma becomes critically important in crisis because charisma allows a leader to provide clarity, company, build trust, and inspire collective action and hope. However, it must be paired with competence and good judgment because charisma without substance can be misleading.
In my opinion, yes, charisma is still important because it provides hope, trust, and motivation during a crisis. However, charisma alone is not enough. It must be balanced with managerial skills and sound decision making.
Okay, in a crisis, charisma is still very important because it gives people trust, calms the tone, and gives hope. But it must be balanced with concrete action and with decisions.
I think charisma is necessary in a crisis, but it must be followed by a real action and responsibility. Without that, charisma is just word. So, we can see that charisma is powerful, but it must always go hand in hand with a real action and responsibility. That's all from us about charismatic leadership. Thank you for watching.
Bahwa Pancasila itu adalah benar-benar satu dasar yang dinamis, satu dasar yang benar-benar dapat menghimpun segenap tenaga rakyat Indonesia.
Tidak ada gunanya Anda IQ-nya tinggi, tapi pemalas, tidak memiliki disiplin, forget it.
Bahwa hari ini antara Inggris telah menyebarkan pamflet, kita harus lawan, saudara-saudara. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Firstly, we are a liberation movement which is fully involved in a struggle to emancipate our people from one of the worst racial tyrannies the world has seen. As far as Yasser Arafat is concerned, we identify with the PLO because just like ourselves, they are fighting for the right of self-determination.
No nation attacks us directly or our allies because they know that's the path to ruin. Surveys show our standing around the world is higher than when I was elected to this office, and when it comes to every important international issue. People of the world do not look to Beijing or Moscow to lead, they call us.